We are back with more Luosjiet insanity. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel on Dale Dale's Leatherworks, where I mansplain all things boots. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about these amazing Luosjiet rural Moctoe boots in wine Teacore leather. They call this dark wine Teacore OTA leather, and this is a brand that I have reviewed before. They make a lot of what some might say are copies of other makers' boots. They make some really good recreations of the Alden Indie boot. They call it the Indiana Jones boot, and this is not that. In fact, this boot, I believe, is not an exact copy of any other company's Moctoes. But I'll get into some comparisons, but real quick, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and huge thanks to my buddy Mark, who handed these boots off to me, entrusting me to review them and get them on camera and talk about them. So I know that there is some controversy with Luosjiet / XBXS. I know that they've fallen under scrutiny online and things like that for, you know, making copies of some popular boot models like the Red Wing Iron Ranger and the Alden Indie boot. But that said, what I think is that every company derives inspiration from another one. You know, you look at the music industry, artists are constantly taking ideas from one another and putting it through the creative process and reinventing things. I mean, there's nothing new under the sun, right? Rather try to cancel a company or boycott a company, I like to just put reservations aside, politics aside, and I like to just get them on camera and talk about them. You, the audience, can evaluate whether you like this brand or not for yourself. I've pissed off all the flat earthers already by now on my channel, so I'm not afraid to ruffle more feathers, you might say, by covering a brand that some might not like. Alright, so let's talk about this boot first and foremost. Let's get a good look at these. So right out of the gate, what do we got here? Luosjiet calls this their rural Moctoe boot, and as you can see, it is a Moctoe, but it's not just any Moctoe, right? This is actually similar in construction to my Grant Stone field boot. All right, so when I think about a Moctoe, I think about this type of a Moctoe, a standard Moctoe. This is from a Ukrainian brand called Wolf and Beard. They make some amazing simple mocks. They specialize in mocks, Moctoe shoes. This is called the Samurai Moctoe. This is a simple Moctoe design, similar that you'd see at Red Wing, right? And this is, again, why I say, like, who has complete dominion over any boot style, right? Like, this is going to be very similar in appearance to a Red Wing. Wolf and Beard, they actually do a really cool stitch over the apron to bind the apron to the vamp. They do a hand stitch, but they also do a loop stitch over that to really secure it. This is what I would consider a standard mock. This Moctoe is different in a lot of ways, mostly because, as you can see here, it has this bumper here at the front. And so there's a lot going on with this boot. It is busy, man. There's a lot happening with it, and I love it. First off, the apron is hand stitched down, but then instead of just having one standard panel here, you have two here. So as you can see here on this one, there's just one panel of leather. On the rural country boot, we have what Wyatt Gilmore at Grantstone, he calls the bumper. And this bumper is something that we find on the Grantstone Field boot, which I have 3 models, and I absolutely love the Grantstone Field boot. Link to Grantstone in the description below. Even though I'm seeing similarities in the vamp construction, the apron being stitched down and how it intersects with the bumper, this bumper on the Luosjiet, it runs the entire length of the boot. That's really cool, and it's double stitched down, and then you have the base panel here, which you could barely see, it's barely visible. And then, most striking to me is you've got triple stitches along the quarter here. It's a really cool design, and when you compare that with the Grantstone Field boot, as you can see, the bumper actually starts midway. It doesn't extend the entire length to meet the back heel stay. It actually just starts midway and then intersects with the apron there. The base panel here is much more exposed. So it's just a pattern difference. Grantstone Field boot is a little taller. So the Grantstone Field boot is 8 inches bottom to top, whereas the Luosjiet Rural boot, 7 inches. But that said, Luosjiet does sell what they call the City Moctoe boot, and it is very similar to a Red Wing Moctoe. Luosjiet sells the Rural Moctoe in 3 different colors. We've got dark wine, which are these, we've got brown Teacore, and we've got black Teacore. So let's read a little bit about what they have to say about these bad boys. This makeup is in dark wine Teacore OTA cowhide. We've got 7 eyelets, XS ultralight EVA outsole, Goodyear 360-degree flat welt, and that's all they have to say. Yeah, looking at this, at the welting, the welt stitching is just insanely precise, extremely good work, and you're not going to believe the price on this. It's $199 USD, coming in at under $200 for this. This is an outstanding pair of boots for $200. So the leather is going to be a finished leather in that it's basically painted, so it will Teacore over time, and I'm looking at the raw edges and it's going to Teacore up beautifully. Every nick, every scratch, it's going to reveal those natural undertones. Yeah, the design is really beautiful, but most striking to me is this flat welt. So the welt is flat, just like the earth, and obviously. So it is 360-degree welted. We've got a split reverse welt in dark brown running the entire perimeter. The welt joint on the split reverse welt is very well done. Could barely see where it joins there. We've got a veg tan midsole and then another layer beneath that. I'm not sure what that is, but I think it is just a thinner layer of brown veg tan. And then obviously this cream wedge outsole, which is XS branded, which I believe comes from XBXS. I believe XBSS and Luosjiet are the same company. The tongue is a different color. It's a chocolate brown color, and it's like a loose temper cowhide. Yeah, so we've got a Luosjiet heel seat in there, veg tan. They have the size stamped on there. Huge shout out to my buddy Ashwin at Welted Wear. He's done a couple reviews on this boot already. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below. He does a really good job. He does a lot of good research and really presents the product well. I always get a lot of good insights from him. I always watch his videos before I make one because he really gives me the level up in terms of information about the brands. So to my knowledge, XBXS Boots and Luosjiet are basically the same company. I believe XBXS is just their higher end version. So XBXS boots range in like the $700 to $1,200 price point, but I believe they're using their factory and the same workmen to build out their more affordable line of boots, which are Luosjiet, where XBXS is using genuine Horween and Mariam leathers. I'm seeing that they use black Mariam horsebutt, hand-dyed black horsebutt TPR, running $1,500, $1,300. They're using Chrome XL rough outs. They're using Snuff Reverse Kudu, Natural Chrome XL rough out for their boondockers. XBXS is using just more expensive leather, whereas Luosjiet is not. Luosjiet is using, I believe, leathers sourced within China. I'm trying to pretend like there's not a massive Siberian tiger walking across my desk right now. Pray for Axel. He just got neutered. The question in my mind still remains, how the heck are they building these masterpieces and only charging $199 for it? I mean, even though they might be sourcing local leathers, first off, this leather is not cheap. This is a very nice leather. This wine Teacore, it's smooth. It feels very well nourished. This doesn't feel anything like a, say, Lafarque leather at all. Like, stuff coming out of Lafarque tannery sometimes has sort of a dry feel. It doesn't have that handmade boutique feel to it. This does not feel like that. This feels like it's got, the leather has a lot of stand up. It's got a very good temper. Now they are lined. Yeah, just from what I see along the raw edge, this is a serious leather. It is beautiful. It is not cheap. It doesn't smell cheap. I do not detect any offensive cheapness or foul play at all in these boots. I mean, it's really quite baffling to me how they are able to achieve this end product and still make money at under $200. It defies all logic, frankly. But that said, the boot world is a competitive place. People are constantly innovating and trying to replicate like who does things the best, and I'm very astounded by what I believe are these leathers sourced from within China that are just making a very good article. Ashwin brought up that Luosjiet does save some money with the veg tan layers, so there's only one, from what I see, yeah, one layer of veg tan and one thin layer of leather in there. Looking at XBXS, it looks like I'm looking at their minor boot, and that has triple layer veg tan as well as multiple layers in the heel stack. So that's possibly where they're saving some money. Yeah, the Luosjiet, from what I'm seeing, it looks like they're only throwing in one layer of veg tan in there, which probably definitely cuts down on the cost of production. Quality, the workmanship, the finishing is all there, expertly done. So a little bit about Luosjiet. So they say, we come from the World Shoe Manufacturing Center, Haojie Town, in Dongguan City, China. We've always produced boots for international top-tier brands and customized supporting products for some high-end clothing brands. We've accumulated rich production experience, which enables us to manufacture high-quality products. The factory directly faces customers, and there are no intermediaries to earn price differences, so the Luosjiet brand emerged. This model makes everything simple, and people can buy high-quality footwear products at a cheap price. A high-quality life doesn't have to be too expensive. This is the commitment of Luosjiet to you. So I'm no stranger to things made in China. In fact, I just reviewed a pair of Crush On Retros, which I thought were made in Indonesia, but they are actually made in China. I verified that with them. Crush On Retro is another Chinese brand that is making very high-quality goods at an extremely low price, and this is just another one of those. Luosjiet, they are absolutely a phenomenal option if you're not looking to spend $500, $600, $700, $1,500 on a pair of boots and you want real quality, amazing QC, amazing workmanship. Then this is a crazy good option for you. I wish they were around when I started buying boots because I started with Alden and Viberg. If these were around, I can't guarantee that I wouldn't have more of these than Alden's. I mean, I love to support made in USA, but this is just fact of the world. most everything that we have is from China. Yeah, is it great to have all USA made things? Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, I love boots wherever they're made. So I don't turn my nose up at things. If you're doing good work, I want to see it, and I want to call it out. And this, ladies and gentlemen, this is good work here. I would assume that this company is probably making the bulk of their income and their sales through XBXS. What really is just the cherry on top of the sundae is this roll top collar up here. Brown against the burgundy is beautiful. We've got a brown at the roll top collar, brown on the split reverse welt, a nice thin brown leather layer beneath the veg tan. From an artistic standpoint, this is a chef's kiss, ladies and gentlemen. Brown tongue. So I really like the interplay of colors between the chocolate brown and the dark burgundy. This leather, it doesn't have any pull up. Like I said, it's finished, so it's not going to be aniline dyed. So, but with time, that Teacoring will emerge and just form a gnarly patina. As far as sizing goes, I can't comment because I've never owned any Luosjiets myself, but I might have to remedy that by getting a pair. That way I could properly inform on the sizing. I know Mark, he started with a size 44 on the Indiana Jones boot. They were a little small. They recommended a 46 in this model, and because of the raised walls in the vamp, he said they're a little roomy, but that said he could just wear them with a thick sock. If I were to order, I'd probably just go with my standard 42. I'm a 9 Brannick. So Luosjiet says on sizing, generally you can choose one size smaller than your regular sports shoe like Nikes, sneakers, Adidas. They say, for example, if you typically wear an EU size 43, then select a size 42 in Luosjiet. If you have measured your foot with a Brannick device, we recommend selecting the US size that is a half size smaller than your measurement. So I'm a 9 Brannick. I'd be an 8.5 in most US boot brands, and yeah, their size guide lines up perfectly. Their Luosjiet 42 is consistent with a US 8.5 and Brannick size 9. So yeah, they say 8.5 Red Wing, go 42 in Luosjiet. I'm an 8.5 Red Wing. I wear a 9 in sneakers, and so all lights are lining up for me. Whenever I see the 42, the 8.5, and the 9 in order, I know that that's going to fit me. So I'd try the 42 EU, and I'm sure that would all work out. And that said, if it doesn't work out, they do offer exchanges, so that's really cool too. That said, final thoughts. Yeah, looking at my Grant Stones, looking at the Luosjiet, made in China is good, folks. If you find the right maker, made in China can be very, very good. Good boots can be made anywhere. It's just who's making them, how much effort are they putting into it, what's their cost of materials. I assume that Luosjiet is able to source these leathers very cheaply, but this is not a crap leather at all. This is very good quality, and for the price, holy moly, I can't get over the fact that these are under $200. Seriously, I mean, that's crazy to me. So as always, I'd like to hear your comments below, so let me know the good, the bad, the ugly. I can take it. I'm used to it by now. I've been boot tubing for a while now. So let me know your opinions in the comments section below. I do have to say, truly, no funny business detected here. These are great boots. My other buddy, Coleone, who's a writer for Boot Spy, he has some Luosjiets he's been wearing, and he has nothing but good things to say about them as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm Dale of Dale's Leatherworks. I will see y'all in my next video.